You know
That's
what I
my
mean?
general goal, is to smash the
Mm.
floor, smash other people's ceilings so they can come up and join. I want them to join. Come up to the happy place.
Yeah, that's it. Be at that point where, get rid of those, the taboos. There
That's
is no
yeah.
sin. There is no sin. It's all been a fucking marketing ploy by religions for years to get money out of
Mm,
you.
mm.
You know,
Well, but
you
as we have
sin,
talked about, is
you
you cannot.
sinful bastards and bitches.
Yeah, because as we've talked about, like the true
Mm,
sin is if you're doing things to others which you wouldn't do to yourself.
correct. Yeah, or without their consent.
Well, without
Correct.
it's your consent. Like
Yeah,
it's
yeah. Well,
consent, just consent.
mm-hmm.
Doesn't need a you or they, just consent.
If you would consent to it and do it to yourself, then
Then you're
then
allowed to ask other people for
others,
consent.
whether they want consent
Yeah,
for
that's
you
it,
to do
right.
that
It's as
same thing.
simple as that.
That's right.
That's the
Yeah,
only sin
yeah,
because
yeah.
when you've breached reality, and
To
you've
force
done
upon another without,
well, it's not possible.
yeah.
It's just not possible. So as soon as you do, what I've sort of defined in my life is that there are possible things and impossible
Mhm.
things. And impossible things are stuff which basically break reality. They're just like it's sort of it just doesn't actually it's not real. Like it's just you're doing something
Yeah,
which is not real,
yeah.
like stealing.
The Matrix wouldn't like it, because the
This
Matrix
reality
Matrix
doesn't.
expects you to at least,
You got to do
you
it.
know. Yeah, yeah,
And I always like to use stealing as a great example as opposed to like all the more intense things
yeah, yeah.
because you try and steal like I got a bottle of wine in front of myself, so I'm going to try and steal it from myself. How would I do that? I'd have to. I would know that I was doing it. I'm here.
You'd need to acknowledge yourself as a thief
Yeah. So then
to
I've
steal
allowed
from
myself
yourself.
to do it. So then I'm not. I
Yeah.
haven't like the whole act of stealing is that the
Mm.
person didn't
And
want
then
you to
that
do it.
component of sin is then removed because there is no sin.
There is no sin.
Yeah. Hence the sin shoe. Goodbye sin.
Shoot, away, away, away. So that's me. That's where I came to as in my meditations of many meditations is that there were just possible and impossible things.
Yeah.
And when you see people doing impossible things,
Hmm.
they're in distress.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
Because
I've never met
they haven't fully
a thief that wasn't like really freaked out. They're
conflicted by it.
exactly because
Yeah.
they're doing a non-real thing. Like
Mm.
they're breaking reality, and you can't actually break reality. So it's just fucked. The person's just in a fucked space.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and
Living with conflict,
yeah,
essentially.
yeah,
Eternal
basically
conflict. Yeah.
eternal conflict, and I mean, even the people who are, like I think I sent you the video of that psychopath, and she was cool. Like she didn't like go
Mm.
around eating people doing that really heavy shit,
No, 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 no.
but
No.
she wasn't looking like
Just living that true life.
she was living a true life, her best
Mm.
self. But she wasn't happy about it. She wasn't unhappy about it, but she was so dissociated from it. And
Mm.
maybe she doesn't feel it as dissociation. But you still wouldn't call that like I think if you actually challenged her on the level of consent, okay, that one particularly,
Yeah.
then she would agree.
Hmm.
She would actually be
I think
operating
so.
from a consent perspective as well.
Yeah.
You know, you
Yeah.
know, you
Yeah.
know.
If I'm
Uh,
happy to do it to myself, then I'm happy to do it
yeah,
to others.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
True.
We challenged her on that. Like,
Mm.